Hello, welcome to the stream. Good morning. My name is Ace. I'm a hobbyist, and we're going to continue working on this sculpt here. So we're just going to get right into it. We were working on the feet yesterday, and we're going to continue touching them up, and then we're going to move on to the hands. And then besides a few tweaks here and there, I think the base mesh, the full body base mesh here will be for the most part whole. We're not done with it yet, though. I'm not going to say it's done, but it'll be like it'll be a whole person. It will just be some adjustments and some program things that we need before we move on to the next step, which will be combining the mesh. I got the Gambit glove on, as you can see. Grab my stylus here. All right. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to look around here. You know, it's been one day since we have looked at this. Exactly. I've made 0 tweaks yesterday. As soon we had some connection issues with Twitch. I looked into it just to make sure that it isn't my side. I tweaked some settings regarding uh, the way streams are encoded and things of that nature. So we're going to see if that is in any way, shape, or form an improvement. Also, I changed the server. I didn't even know that was a thing, but I took a close look at the settings, and hopefully, um, well, I would rather it be on my end than on Twitch's end. I'll just say that, you know, if it's something that I failed to do, then you know I can fix it. But if it's on Twitch's end, I can't do anything about it. That's gonna be unfortunate. But you know, I enjoy drawing and I want to show it, you know, so it's not a big deal to me. I'm already doing that. If it's hopefully, you know, the service won't be interrupted. I'm looking around, these back muscles here. This should be lined with that right there. That's how that should be. I think I've already remeshed it, so I might be able to affect that muscle. I'm not going to change much. I just want to bring this muscle down a little bit more. So I'm going to try to do that real quick. Just some minor tweaks here and there. Very minor tweaks. I think the torso looks all right. I look at this chest daily, right? When I come onto the stream, I feel like there's something off about it. I'm not really sure though. But that is the purpose of coming back to a piece and looking at it and just going over the whole thing and seeing if there's anything that needs to be touched up. You know, fresh pair of eyes is always helpful. Even if it's your own pair of eyes, you always want to look at it for a while. I think the chest muscles are a little bit too wide. I'm not sure though. Well, they don't look. I mean, I guess they could be that way. Maybe they could be brought down a little bit, just a little. Let's see how it looks. We'll just undo it real quick. Just want to do some really basic tweaks here before we go into the feet. I want to try moving this down just a little bit. And I'm not going to do anything special. I'm just literally just going to move it down. he's a little too defined, I think. You know, I went a little overboard with the muscle, but that's okay. This person will be fully clothed anyway. Um, I do have experience with making clothes, but it's not my strong suit. So some studies will be required. But that's just some stuff that, you know, I'll work on. I don't know if I'll probably do like a practice thing and then try to, stream it. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Looking at the feet now. Let's see here. What do we got? Now you may notice that there's a pretty big gap between the toe and the rest of the rest of the toes. The big toe and the rest of the toes. That's because when you remesh something, this is what happens here. Now these were already sculpted together and they'll most likely remain this way. They know there's no need to separate these toes. But when you remesh something, this is what is going to happen if two surfaces are too close to each other. They're going to merge together. It could be the legs, like particularly in this area. If you're making a woman and they have like thick thighs, and you make them too thick, that's something that could happen. I've had that happen to me before. And then of course, maybe under here, if you have like a wide A pose, and of course you've already seen, if you saw any other streams, there was a line here, but we went over it. We attached put the muscles over it, so it's kind of a fix there. And then of course the fingers, which is what we're going to try to work on today. We have to make sure they're nice and spread, so that way, because they will be individually. Hey, 99, welcome to the stream. Good. Hope you're having a good morning. Actually woke up. I woke up so early today, but I was blindsided by some news in the comic book world. There was an indie comic who took his own life yesterday, and they were doing a YouTube channel that I watch every now and then called Cartoonist Kayfabe. His name is Ed Piskor. Apparently he got canceled for some stuff that he probably did, and yeah, he died yesterday. So I was catching up on that, and I kind of got another late start. I got to work on that. But no, as long as in the morning, I don't treat it as my start time is at 9. I kind of want to start earlier, but it's more of like this is in somewhere within this time frame I will stream. I'm still working out the workflow here, and I'm not sure if I'll actually be drawing for that long daily, but I put it there just in case. It'll come in time. Sorry about that loss. Oh well, yeah, it's very unfortunate for everyone involved. Um, yeah, he was accused of grooming and some questionable solicitation, and yeah, they found a note. I mean, he posted a note, I guess, and then nobody could find him, and well, he's gone now. So I was like, wow, it was kind of because I didn't know about it before. Apparently, it'd been happening all this week or all last week, and I was just catching up on it, and I kind of lost track of time. He did a couple of he did an X-Men book. He did a Hulk book. He was mostly indie though. He had this book called Red Room. I don't know. I never actually read it. It looks like some really dark stuff, but I didn't get to read it. All right, so we're going on to the feet here. I'm looking at the feet. I want to work on the bottom of the toes here. They're going to have that curled up effect, right? You're going to see uh, how the toes look here, right? They'll look straight in the top, but they'll have this curled appearance on the bottom. Like these little fat pads here are kind of like curled up on the bottom here. So that's what I'm trying to achieve. All right, 99, no problem. I'm trying to work that shape out a little bit more. So I'm using a clay brush. I'm right now. I'm just trying to. Okay, that's what we don't want. We don't want that. I think we went a little too. Wait, did we go too far? Or are we just discovering something that happened? I don't think. Yeah, the toes aren't moving, so I'm gonna control shift Z forward a little bit. All right. Now, now that I see that toe's a little too big, see right here from this perspective. Like I said, it's always good to take a look at every perspective here. This toe's a little hooked. It's like a hook. We don't want that. We want just a little ball that has like a small crevice underneath of the toe there. That's all we want. So I'm gonna move this. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm just gonna move this toe up some. And you know what? I might be better off just scraping it with the scrape tool. But I'm gonna try to do it this way real quick and see if that will help. This is basically just aiming for a little. I'm leaning in this sculpt a little bit towards realism here, but I think the art style will probably be semi-realistic. I don't know. That's the purpose of these sculpts and working out the. I'm gonna do some character sheets of these characters too in my own style. And, I'm going to finalize the way the web comic is going to look. These are references for that comic done in order of appearance. It's the first person that appears in the book. I'm doing the toes now. Let me get a little closer. You know what? Let me get just a little closer. All right. I'm gonna decrease my brush a little bit here. Scroll up, scroll down. Come on. Oh yeah. By the way, before I forget, let me give you a shout out, 99, while you're AFK. Um, Let me make sure because I got to do it one handed and it's kind of obscured. My vision is obscured of this keyboard. There we go. Give him a follow. He does indie games. He does art as well. Very talented individual. I would say check him out. I'm gonna finish it. Oh wait. Okay, yeah, I already did my brush here. Let me scoot in. Now we're gonna work on the toes here. I'm gonna try to do all the toes and then be done with it. I might remesh it again just so I can get the details in and just finalize this foot right now. I don't feel the need to come back to it. But well, as far as building the primary shape, this is basically the primary shapes already. But we will be going to the hand and doing that. Okay, I was wondering why my camera wasn't working there. They got some too close to the feet. It's weird. It's like weird collision sometimes with this program. I guess that happens in ZBrush too. I don't know. So we're gonna do the toes. That might be a little crooked. Let me go back. Let me go back just a little bit and try to make that straight. So we're gonna carve the outline of the toe here. Try to have it follow the front. And it'll be just like a little shield shape here. Now you could make them rounded. Oh, you see that? See how the entire toe is crooked? I gotta fix that. Looks like somebody just took his toe and just like, oh, oh. fix that a little bit. And this is supposed to be straight on, right? Yeah. Okay. It could have just been the way I was looking at it, and then yeah, I remember now. This toe here was the shape of this part right here needed to come out more. I didn't get a chance to do it because we were at the end of the stream and I was having the connection issues, but it's okay. We can do it now that we've seen it. And we're gonna continue, looking around, as we go on through this and making sure that everything looks nice and at least, somewhat accurate. It's good to have a reliable reference. Okay, let me see. Let me try to. What I'm gonna try to do now is I'm gonna try to make the toenail a little rounded, and I'm gonna bring it up as far as I can, all the way, and then I'm going to let me try to look at this straight on. Let me back up a little bit, a little too close. Just a little bit too close. And I'm gonna bring the toe up some now that I can see here. I think this the fat pad where the crown of the foot is right here. All that should come up a little bit. I'm thinking, and I want to attempt. I'm gonna make it a little flatter, but I want to make this rounded. That's the attempt that I'm trying to make here. I'm going to attempt to make this like a dome a little bit. I guess that's okay. I was going to scrape it, but I think that works for now. All right, now we're going to do the cuticle. So you know how right at the toe it's like this little raised part here, like this raised hill where the cuticle is? We're going to try to simulate that here. I'm going to raise that part, and then we are going to hold on. Okay, got to refer to the reference. Looking at a picture of a foot, and oh, we don't want to just raise the cuticle, but we want to raise this area around the side of the toe too. That's a little bit raised. The toe is the skin kind of like grows around the toe a little bit here and here, and then depending on the toe, it could. I guess you could do that all the way around, depending on the feet and everything. Like it's going to be something that's not always the same, difference from person to person. So it's just a matter of, if you want to make them have like, it's like the same as making them have like long or short nails or rounded or flat or ingrown, whatever. It's the point is just to make it. There's a toe there, and it looks like it can look like anyone's toe. I guess the rest is just personal taste. But what I am trying to do here is I thought there was a line somewhere. I'm looking. I could have sworn there was. I guess that would be just at the knuckle of the toe. Doesn't have to be a line. I guess the line would be right here. That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't seeing that in these diagrams that I have here. I guess I can just put it there if I want to, right? It'll just make it look more like a toe. And now we have, let's see, I'm going to use a clay brush. I was going to use an inflate brush and just inflate a little ball here, but we're going to just do the clay brush that way because it's a little more, looks a little more realistic, It looks more like a toe knuckle there. It's not going to be super pronounced. You're going to have the lines there from where it bends, where the toe can bend. And Hold on, be back up some. Okay. And then you're gonna have that again, like somewhere around here, I suppose. Maybe just a little bit. And then we can do the kind of the bony lamb art. Like that. Doesn't have to be super pronounced or detailed. Just it's just the information that it's there. Okay. Now we can move on to another toe. You know, I kind of do want to scrape the toenail a little bit. I think it's a little too rounded. You know what? We can do it in sections because toenails have that kind of texture where it's like I don't know if that's a healthy thing, but where you have like you'll see like it's like almost like polygonal how you have these grids here, these grid lines, but it's just the straight lines. Like you'll have like straight lines here, and then you can see it here. I'm not really sure though if that's actually a thing. It's just something I've noticed just looking at pictures. And sometimes you can see how it looks on your own nails. You can see it kind of has like that these ridges, like it's made in 3D a little bit. But I actually don't know if that's like a thing that everyone has. I hope it's not a health thing. Okay, so I'm gonna go on to the next toe now. Let me carve this here. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm slouching, and the camera is a little far back. I should have checked that before we started. That's okay though. That is quite alright. Okay, that's better. I didn't want to be off like halfway on the camera, like, oh, look, I'm hiding. No. All right, here we go. Now to the next toe. And as we remesh, we're gonna have to come down here and make sure that we keep these details. So we just might have to come back to it and emphasize them as we keep remeshing. We shouldn't have to remesh too many times more after this. I think the body is pretty much the way it's going to be. Maybe some shaping, just some tweaks with the shape. Like I see the lower leg might need to be adjusted a little bit. It may be the bicep, but I think it turned out okay. We'll see. See how everything is. Now I'm going to scrape this down a little bit. Now with the smaller toes, we're not going to go too far with the toenails. We're just going to give the indication that they're there. I'm just going to put them all in. They're small enough to where it's like not going to get a lot of detail out of them unless I really, really try to remesh them. It's like it's not going to be hyper realistic. And of course, there's the pinky pinky toe. I'm probably just going to be better off doing them all the same size. Just that way you can have the indication that there are toenails there. You can see the pinky is really suffering. It's really suffering there due to its size. And of course, the brush. Let me try to do a smaller brush. And then there's the remeshing issue here. We're starting to run out of polygons. So we might, when we remesh this again, we'll probably have to come back to the toe and make sure that these at least are still there. But what I will do is, well, you're not gonna see much of the bony landmarks on the smaller toes, I think, because they're so small. So what we can do is we can try to get the form in a little bit. I'm just gonna like just kind of scribble them in a little bit. Okay. Now, what did I say? I said that I wanted to bring the fat pads up a little bit. So that's what I'm going to work on next. Let me just kind of scooch this up just a little bit. Scooch everything up. Is that in the front or in the back? That looks like the front. I just want to make sure that I'm not looking at like the back of the foot and then trying to push that up when it's actually, when I'm actually trying to work on the front. Sometimes a perspective can be a little tricky, especially if it's not done right. Okay, I think his feet are coming together a little bit. Um, just a little bit. How about we, what if I did this? I'm gonna just inflate this a little bit because this area will be a little more depressed than this, right? At least that's what I'm thinking. Let me try to scrape that down a little bit. I don't know if that'll be noticeable, but I'm just really just spitballing here. I'm really just seeing what what I think would work. All right, I'm gonna take a look at the calves now because I think the feet are as good as they're going to be without having it, without really going into like great detail with them. Like you have the wrinkles there on the bottom, you have the basic shape of the footprint. The heels, let me, you know what? Let me look at the heels. Let me try to push those in a little bit because they look a little deformed. Let's take a look at that. Right now, I am, I'm looking at, I forgot I didn't bring my reference out for the bottom of the foot for some reason. I want to see a good reference of the bottom of the foot, which I have. Just looking for where it is right now. I already have the folder up. I got a folder. I got endless folders of references. When I'm not sure on how something should go, then I will check to see if I have that. Give me 1 second. Feet, feet, feet. Where are the feet? I mean, I'm looking at the feet, but I don't see what I used yesterday. That's the problem. Right? Wrong. Still looking through my folder. Give me 1 second. Yeah, just want to see a good reference of the feet, of the bottom of the foot, the soles of the feet. Let's see. Hands. We got hands. Hands. We got arms. Arms. Hands again. What in the world? It's important to have this stuff already out. I thought I grabbed everything, but I guess I did not. All I want to do. Hmm. Let me see something. Let me grab this one. Okay. That is the reference I used right there. All right, I found it. I'm sorry. Sorry for the delay. And I also found what it looked like. There it is. There it is. Okay, we got it. Move that out of the way. I just want to get a good shape for the heel here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it it looks a little deformed, especially like right here. Now what I want to do is I want to turn it and make sure I'm not, yeah, this is what I was looking for. I didn't want, when I look at it this way, you see how it has that bulge? I wanted to make sure by turning it this way that that wasn't actually the ankle. But it looks like they are two different shapes. So I'm gonna lower the radius of my brush here, and I'm going to shape the the heel a little more properly here. It sticks out a little bit too far in this direction. And I want to just shape that and not the ankle as well. There, looks a little better. Just a little better. Now, let me look at that a little bit. Let me try to get that a little bit more. Okay. All right. So we have that. And now I'm looking at the shins and the calves here. I think it might be a little bit, I feel like they're a little deformed. So I'm gonna bring them in a little bit. Now, it just looks off to me for some reason. You don't make them bulge in one direction. I don't think, at least a direction that they don't really bulge in, which is, I don't know. It seems like they come out too far like this, you know. I don't think it doesn't look natural to me. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at some calves here. This should be in. It's a little thick down here below the calf here. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to bring it in, you know, like almost like a conal shape. Also, maybe smoothing it a little might help. See, I did not intend to make them that muscular. I overworked the placement of the muscles, and this is the result. Overworked them in, and this is just these briefs here. There's just a covering. I wanted to fully cover his butt there because and when Twitch get mad at me. All right, well, see the Achilles tendon, that's good. I'm still looking at the heel. Let me get a little closer. I want to consolidate my focus here to the lower leg. This could be smoothed out. I'm going to shrink my brush and then work on this just under the ankle again, but on the outside. But I'm going to keep the detail that's there. I think it's a little too bulged here. Maybe I can move it in a little. Just a little bit. Okay. Looking at the bottom again. I guess that's fine. Now let me try going back up to the leg. Look at it from the side view. I'm looking at where the foot attaches to the body. I think that like it should be more like that, like a curve. That's what I am thinking. I'm looking right now at some references for that. There's a lot of pictures of feet and legs here that I'm trying to work through. Oh my goodness. There we go. All right. Yeah, I wanted to have a more curved shape there. That's what I want. So that's what I'm going to try to work on. I'm going to pull it out a little bit, just a little. Let's just try to be careful here not to deform the work that we have done so far. See, I pulled that out a little too far. Let me bring the brush down a little bit. Okay, let's look at it from a different angle. I guess that's okay. Okay, right now we have a full body. It's just basically just detail at this point, adjusting things. We're going to start working on the hands really soon. As you can see, they're more like flippers and just the basic shapes of a finger, the palm. Right now I can see that the palm needs to be worked on. Maybe bring the thumb out a little bit more. We'll wait until what I want to do is I'm going to separate the hands from the mesh. That's what I'm going to do right now. I'm getting my reference together for the hand. I got it. So I got it right here. Just got to move the window so I can see. Okay. Now I'm going, oh, sorry. I hit my mouse. I took notes on my own just to get together like what exactly I did. Okay. What worked and what didn't, because I made a few mistakes when I was moving everything to Blender. The first, that was bad. Sorry, the first time I did a sculpt on Blender, it was too many polygons. Okay, it was very hard working under lag. It was tens of millions. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I must have hit remesh too much. That's very bad. So I made very exact remesh parameters and notes. All right, we're gonna go in the object mode just to keep the level, the amount of polygons down. You want to look at faces. 1.4, that's not too bad. I think the highest I've done at this point is 2, and it's probably going to go higher once we do the hands. Welcome back, 99. I think I'm good with the feet. I'm doing the hands now. Let's see. I'm trying to apply the transformations. There we go. Apply all transforms. So everything, when we start moving things around here, they won't be in the wrong place. Okay. Going to start working on the hands now. Hit caps lock for some reason. Let's see. Okay. Let's mask the hand. I'm gonna go back into sculpt mode. What I need now, I think I'm gonna use the lasso, the mask lasso. That should do. Hey, studio, welcome. Good morning. I hope you're having a good morning. I made a twerking raccoon animation. Want to see? Yeah, show me. Twerking. Hope you're having a good morning. Hold on, let me get you a shout out here. I got the chat popped out here on my other computer. I should just have both keyboards here, but it's so awkward. I have like zero room left on my desk. Uh, and my chair leans back too far. I gotta sit up. I gotta sit up here. Well, I think I know why. I'm missing a cushion. Anyway, yeah, I have to send it in Discord. It'll be an emote, my friend in my friend's channel, but not yet. Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at it as soon as I'm done. Ah, it worked. Talented artist and game developer. Okay. Okay, what do I do with my stylus? Where's the stylus? No, combi. What have I done? Oh, I got it. I found it. I found it. It's okay. I found it. And bully. Wow. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna slice right through the hand like so, and then we're just gonna go around it. All right. Now we're going to invert that so it's just the hand, and then we're going to mask slice to new object. I do believe I want to make sure. I want to cut the hand off and then destroy it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So many different things here. All right, mask slice to new object. That's what we got, and that's weird. That okay, that's weird. We got to change this now. I want to change the name just for. Thank you. A slice through the hand like so. Oh no, only I live here, so I don't have to worry about that. Only you guys can hear me. um, let me see. Right. I wanted to rename this. This is the body now. Oh, you know what? I done goof. Okay, we'll just put bow. This is the bow. We have to change this to hand. I don't know why it did that. When I said mask slice new object, this should be mesh and body should be body, but it changed the hand to body and the body to mesh. So now I have to change it back. This is the first time that happened. Only you guys can hear me. Yeah. As far as I know, I don't know. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure I cannot be heard through these walls or window because I leave my AC in. Throughout the winter, I just cover it so that way it doesn't let the heat out. And this is the body, yes, of course. Yes. Body. Okay, hand, body. And also I want to put hands. We will be cutting off one of the hands, and then we'll just mirror it to the other side. Only you guys can hear me. It's my Emperor Palpatine. I'm sorry. Anyways, all right. So we got hands, and then we got body, like so. All right, sculpt mode. Okay. Oh. Sculpt mode. We're going to go back to the hands, which we are already on. I have to find the keyword here, or not the keyword, but the shortcut to change the selected. See how this is selected here? This is how you tell this is selected. This squares over this triangle, but I can click on the head, and it'll have this dark orange outline, but I don't actually select the head. It's just highlighted. I'm sure there's a shortcut of some kind that allows me to select the head from sculpt mode, but I have to go into object mode. So I'm still getting the use of working in Blender. It's just a little bit different from ZBrush, but it's just enough to where you have to make sure that you know exactly what you want. It differs just enough to warrant having to learn basically the whole program. Okay, so we're gonna have to go to, okay, we have a hand selected, right? And I'm going to remesh the hands because we need more polygons for the detail that we're going to be putting on the hands. These will be fully rigged, all 5 fingers, of course. So we're going to make sure that there's enough polygons to bend all the knuckles into a fist and pose them however we want. Okay, so we got it remeshed. I'm pretty sure I clicked remesh. Make sure. I want to click it again. As a matter of fact, I can just Control Z. See if the number changes. Yep, okay. There we go. Now we do it again. The first time when I was learning Blender and I wasn't sure I clicked remesh, I would just click remesh again. And that's why I ended up with tens of millions of polygons in Blender when my first sculpt was done and the system was lagging. That's not good because you won't be able to pose it in rendered mode if you can't even sculpt. I want to make sure that I got rid of the mask here. You saw there was a dark line there. I just got rid of it. Because if I make another mask and then extrude something or cut it, it's going to cut that too. We don't want to make that mistake. All right. Now, you know what? I think I'm going to cut the other hand off right now. Because we don't need it. And we want to make sure that one hand perfectly mirrors the other, unless you're making someone who has one hand or like a scar or something. You should still do that, right? You could still mirror both. No, you can't actually. Yeah, if someone has like a scar or a birthmark on one hand, then you don't really want to do this. I think. Actually, I don't know how I would solve that problem. I would have to look into that. That's very interesting. Um, what I want to do is Control M that because we are on symmetry. I want to just do this hand, and then I want to delete it. Let's see, mask, and we'll just be mask slice and fill holes. Now he's got one hand. So we'll just be primarily working on this hand, and then once we're done with this hand, we'll mirror it on the other side since both of his hands are identical. I don't think I have anyone with hands that like a scar or anything. I don't think I have anything like that. But I would be willing to see how I would solve that problem if I were to make a character like that. Sometimes when you do symmetry, it doesn't always, like, it's not always perfect. I guess you would just adjust it, right? Okay, now for the fun part. Legs in the way. You know what I should do is I should hide the body. Let's do that. Oh, gotta hide his garments there. Let me see, which one was that? This one? Okay, now we just have a hand. Just one hand. Now right here, I can see that his finger is like a little too bent in this direction, but we're gonna fix that. I just want to make sure that we mask it properly. I'm gonna do that now. I'm going to use the lasso mask. I'm just going to follow this line that we carved the other day. I think it was last week. And I have to see if I got some of the knuckle on the other side. Okay. Okay, we got some of the finger. So I think what I want to do, and the rest of this is fine. I think I can work with the rest of that. I'm going to do it from this side. And see if that fares any better. Up to here. That's an easy fix. Okay, we can just cut this part. That's why you got to make sure that it's good. It's lined up on both sides. But it doesn't really matter because we can fix that. I'll make sure I didn't do the other side. I did do the other side, as you can see. Let me see. Is it shift or is it control? It's control. Okay. Is that a mask? No, it's not. That's just a crease. All right. Mask. Let's see if we can sharpen the mask. Oh yeah, I just noticed that. Hold on. Control. I want to keep some of this palm here. Okay. Get rid of this part and this part. And that little bit there that I almost missed. And then we'll just reshape it. Okay, let's see. Mask. Mask. Slice and fill holes. Oops. There. And of course, you want to make sure that the mask itself is gone when you're done. And now we have one finger, one very deformed finger, but one finger nonetheless. All right, so now we can, do I want to remesh this now or do I want to shape it and then remesh it? I think what we will do is, okay, I guess we'll just remesh it. First thing I'm going to do is straighten out that finger before we do anything. I'm just going to move it. I'm not really worried about whatever details are there because we're going to be redoing them in higher detail. This is why you have to make sure that the primary, the basic forms of the finger are good before you get to this step, which I did not do. So now we're going to have to fix that in this step. Now we're going to smooth it out. We got creases. It's deformed. We gotta fix it, but that's okay. We only need to work on this finger, and of course the thumb, but mainly this finger, and then we can duplicate the finger for all 5 digits or all 4 digits. Sorry. So it's really not that big of a deal, but you want to make sure you get it right the first time, so that way you only have to cut the fingers and then just add the detail. I've done it right a few times, but this time was wrong, so it's okay. We're just gonna have to fix it. It's the point of practicing. You know what you get right what you did wrong. You learn what you did wrong. You know why you did it, and then you avoid doing it in the future. So I'm going to try to inflate it so that it's more like a wedge and not like a sausage. You know, it's not like fat or straight. I never learn from my mistakes. You will, with repetition. You will. Just keep at it. Okay, so yes, we're going to beef it up a little bit. Let's see, we just had to adjust it a little bit. The shape is coming back already. And now we're going to get rid of this crease. Straight up and down, like so. I'm going to smooth out this bump. I'm going to clay strip that crease there. Smooth out just a little bit. Because the crease will come back if you smooth it out too much. All right. So what do we got here? Let's look at it straight on. What we want to do is we want to make sure that it has a somewhat rounded shape. Looks like he stuck his finger in between two anvils or something equally heavy. I don't know. So we gotta make sure that it's not as flat as it once was. And now we have this. We're gonna smooth that out a little bit. It's a general rounded shape. Gonna smooth out these bumps. We want to put all the bony landmarks on the top where the knuckles are, and where you can see where sometimes the bone. Sometimes you can see the bone in the finger, depending on how thin the fingers are. Now we can look at the length of the finger. I'm gonna stretch it out a little bit more. Never know, this character might want to play Xbox, so we're going to try to get him some longer fingers here. I mean Xbox One, even though technically in the store it's not out yet. You never know, you know, you might decide to buy the Xbox One and play it one day. Can't play it with small if his hands are too small. Those controllers are pretty big. Okay, so we're going to smooth that out a little bit more. I'll tell you what I'll do. Here, there's a little bit of finger left, right, on these, which is not a big deal. Because when we duplicate this, we kind of want to merge them with what's here. I don't want to do it up to the knuckle, so I'm gonna bring that little bit of finger left up some, and I'm going to match this finger with that, so that way the transition will be a little more smooth. There. Now we're just working on the shape of the finger for now. I want to bring the thumb out some more. Okay. Now I'm looking at the palm. I feel like it's off. I feel like the palm, something about the palm is off, so I think it needs to be widened a little bit. And that's why I'm working on the thumb here. I'm trying to bring the thumb up so I can widen the palm on that side. Maybe it's okay though. I don't know. Oh, I know what it is. It's the space between the thumb and the index finger that's off to me. My eyes are telling me that it's off, so I'm going to try to work on it. I'm gonna bring the thumb out just ever so slightly. I want to deform it because this is the one digit that should not have to be changed too much. We just add more detail. We can just bring it back some. I want to see the other side. I want to make sure that there's no like giant pit on the other side here. I believe that is what is wrong. Why this palm doesn't look right to me. It's just this part. And I guess it could be wider about here. Just a little bit. Okay. I'm kind of satisfied with the shape of this finger. But I want to move it over a little bit. It's just the positioning at this point, and then we can start putting in the details up for the finger. I'm going to bring this up, and then we can start. I'm just trying to move it over just ever so slightly. We want to have a lot of space in between the fingers. So that way when I remesh them, they don't become joined together, and it'll most likely join around this area here, really close to the knuckle. You don't want that because then it's going to deform when you start, when you, if you leave it like that and you rig it, and it's kind of hard to, it's not hard, but it's like a couple extra steps that you have to take in order to unjoin the fingers after a remesh. But I'd rather avoid doing that because then, because that takes up time that I could have put into something else. Like I don't want to have to freaking, I don't want to have to come home and deal with that, just to fix it, or like to do it last minute when I should be doing something else. So okay, we're gonna move. I'm gonna just move it a little bit more, just a little bit more, a little bit more over to the side. Okay. Now he can only point, but we're gonna give him the rest of his fingers. All right. Now the end of his finger here, I'm going to shape that a little bit more. Can you reuse old hands or things like that? Yes. I have so far, I've only done this for teeth and tongue. But yeah, I actually thought about that. And you know what else I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about just doing a whole body template and then just using that across every sculpt because that would be so much faster. I'm considering doing that instead of like sculpting every single time. Just for brevity, just to streamline the whole process. I mean, I already know I can sculpt. I don't have to like demonstrate that I can sculpt every time. It's more just sharpening the skill. I feel like that if I make a template and then just use that, then my sculpting skill would diminish, and I just learned it. I feel like I just learned it. So I'm just doing it just to sharpen the skill of being able to sculpt from a sphere. That way I can become better at it. That's the only reason why I don't really. I mean, for stuff like teeth and tongue, I mean, I don't you don't have to sculpt that, right? But a hand, I mean, I could see that. I could see a hand being like, okay, you don't have to do this every time. But then, I feel like, like I said, I would get rusty at sculpting a hand if I do it that way. It's more than fun. Oh, I forgot to hide the head. It's more than for just function. I'm this is technically practice too. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at this. How does this? How's it? Okay, it's just a rounded shape, right? I had to check it. Just a rounded shape, right? So this is more like a deformed triangle. So we're gonna try to fix that. Okay, let me. You know what? This might be the easy way. This might be the easy way. Let's just inflate this part of the finger and try to round it that way. And then we can pull out the end here. Just want to make sure it looks nice. It looks like an actual finger, not like I don't know, like a human finger, rather than like a thin sausage or something. You want to give him sausage fingers and try to make him look like he has actual fingers. Okay, let me pull out that side of the finger. All right, so the back of the finger here, or the where the knuckle is, as I see it from this angle, I feel like it's too low, so I'm just gonna bring that out some. That is my next step. Just gonna bring it up so that it's more in line with the knuckle. Because if you point like this, it's aligned with the knuckle. The finger's aligned. It shouldn't be like when you point. If you point, and this is technically not a point, but I'm just trying to make sure the shape is good by pretending that he's pointing and just trying to adjust it based off of that. But it shouldn't be, the knuckle shouldn't be all the way up like that. So I'm just trying to align the finger up. Okay. Let's see what we got here. We haven't put any of the detail on yet. I'm still just trying to get the shape right. Of course, you know, bringing the knuckle down would be an option, you know, and you know, because they should definitely be, I guess this one kind of comes up, the middle knuckle kind of comes up a little bit more. So maybe we can bring the knuckle down a little bit here. Leave that knuckle alone, because you should be able to see from both sides the middle knuckle. At least I can on mine. I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that's right. Okay. So we're looking at the shape. Looks pretty decent. See a line here. Let me smooth that out. We're going to remesh this a couple more times. It'll be easier to smooth out things like that. Let's look at the palm here. So you're gonna have these lines, like these stretch lines here from your thumb. So I think that's fine actually. That was not intended to be honest, but it works out because that's how it can naturally be. It might not be up that far, but um here here is good. So we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave that for now. I think at worst we could push this part in a little bit and then just smooth out this line. But this can be a thing. Maybe not on this side. Maybe if you have like a callus here or something, you'd have like a line there, because that'll be like raised a little bit. But I can see it on this side. All right, enough of that. We're going to move on. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the bony landmarks, which would be the knuckle and the skin around the knuckle. So what we can do to make this look like something that would be on a hand is you can do like two lines like this instead of just putting a crease, like a couple of lines for a crease. You could raise two areas together like so, and have the line create naturally, and it looks a little more less like a line and more like a knuckle, right? At least that's my reasoning for doing it that way. And then we can do the landmarks for the hand, the bone in the hand, in the finger. Sorry. And then have it come down like this. Maybe like that. I want to raise that a little bit with the inflate tool. And we'll just have it attached to the knuckle in a way to makes it so that the knuckle isn't too raised. And we can just smooth it like so. Just for that knuckle. I think we can put lines for the second digit. I'm gonna repronounce that a little bit. Okay. Radius. Get the radius down because we're going to do the. I'm going to put the fingernail in just like I did with the toe. We're going to raise the skin around Okay, let me use the mouse for this because sometimes it's a little weird doing this with the stylus. And there's a shortcut, but like I think I mentioned this before. I learned how to do this on a mouse, so sometimes I default back to the mouse instead of using the shortcut, just because it's just more comfortable for me. Even though with practice the shortcut would be faster. I'm slowly trying, and this is the shortcut, just F. You just hit F, and then you can raise it or lower it like so. Oh, see, I pressed F again and it didn't work. Or I'm supposed to click, that's why. Whoops. Looks like I done goofed. And I want to do all those lines again because they didn't turn out right. That's what I want to do. I want to do everything I just did. I want to do it again. All right, we sculpted the finger. Yeah, in order to do the remeshing, or sorry, in order to do the fingernail at this level here, we're going to have to remesh it. So, because you can see it's kind of running a little bit low there, so we're going to remesh it, and we should be able to do this a little more easier. See how the lines are a little more straight. It's less like giant polygons that you're trying to move around. I would say if you're sculpting and you're trying to sculpt something in 3D, wait to the last possible moment to remesh it. That's what I did when I was learning with ZBrush. I waited to the last possible moment to do it just so I wouldn't have like a 60 million polygon thing at the end. Because there's no way. I don't even think there's anything that could possibly reach that high. And even with all the assets, like even if you made a video game, you have all the assets running at once. I don't even think it would be that high. Maybe I'm wrong though. I'm not, like I said, I'm not an expert, but I've seen the numbers that people are using, and it's usually like around 1 million, 1 million for an environment, right? I'm at 1 million now with the entire body combined, almost 2 million. But you have like a close to 1 million for environment, and it'll be like 10% of that or less for the body. Your models are the amount of full games. Yeah, it's gonna get lowered, but yeah, that's basically what I'm getting at. It's like I think uh I think the ones in Street Fighter 6, they released like a little behind the scenes with that. I think just the faces are alone are uh like entire meshes in certain video games. And you can tell too, they have the physics. They even have it so that like when they flex, you can see their muscles actually flexing. It's crazy. You can achieve that with rigging. I haven't figured it out yet, but if the second I can make a rig that's actually like it'll actually manipulate the muscles too, I'm doing it. I've seen someone posted it on I've seen some posts. Street Fighter is amazing with that, with what they accomplished. Yeah, it's really good. They did like there's like 6 months. They worked on sculpts, their meshes for like 6 months per character. It's ridiculous. But I guess with the staff and the time, they started it probably a couple of years ago. I think they started. Let's see, they were on the last season during the pandemic, I think, and I think what they were going to announce it during the pandemic, but since it was a shutdown, they released another season, and they probably started development that year after that season was done. So that's like 3 years, could be longer. I don't know. So most of that would be just making the meshes. I think if one took 6 months and they have what 15, 16 characters, I believe they started it after the RE DLC. So that would be October of you talking about the third person one? October of 2021, 2022? I don't 2020 maybe? I don't really remember. I wasn't following it, but I remember they seemed like that the last season of Street Fighter 5 was unplanned according to some insiders or something like that. I don't know. I don't really follow that stuff. Just released the game. Yeah, the third person was the same visual team. Yeah, that's what I thought. People with insider information were reporting on that, and I took it at face value because it seemed like it was the truth to me. So I didn't really look into it though. But yeah, it sounds based off the fact that it took 6 months. Yeah, I would say they probably started it that year then, per character, and they got what's I don't know. Like they had they have a big team. You know, you can make more than one character in that amount of time with the amount of people that they had. So yeah, I would say most likely just based off of that, it started that year. Now I'm working on the skin around the fingernail. It's going to be raised a little bit. Well, I don't know. It could vary from person to person, but I am going to. Well, maybe, yeah, maybe. I'm looking at my own reference. Mine kind of don't raise like that, but it's not noticeable. Welcome back, studio. We're working on the fingers so we can duplicate them. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna curve the nail a little bit, and we're see. I could have just used the shortcut there. I'm gonna use the shortcut. 3D print your characters. I was thinking about it. I did post a raccoon for your viewing pleasure. Okay, yeah, I'll take a look at it. I'll take a look at it right now. Why not? Actually, no, not right now. I'll do it after stream. Wait, maybe I can. Maybe I can. Maybe I can. I hate the way they changed the phone app. It's so weird now. It used to be just like the browser, but it isn't anymore. And I don't like it. I gotta click on servers. Oh, it's on. Okay, it's on. Okay. What the heck? It's pretty good. Is that for Doctor X Man? Man, I need to put some thought into. Well, maybe I don't. I don't know. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but yeah, I have no idea when the time comes what I'm gonna do for my emotes. I have no idea. It's gonna be weird. Mr. Doctor X, yeah. The mobile version is so buggy. Yeah, yeah. I hate it, man. I hate the changes. Like I'm like, okay, here, click server. Now it's a lag all of a sudden. I gotta wait. And I click it again, so it clicks it twice. And I'm like, oh my god. And then it goes back, it goes forward. It's like I can literally just start the like if I'm at home, I can just start the browser and reach the whatever I'm trying to look at faster than I can on my phone. I'm really good at coming up emotes for other people. 99 didn't believe me, so he has to wait. Oh, well, that's good to know. There might be some commissions because right now, I haven't put any thought into it, but I have literally nothing to go off of except for I'm not gonna make emotes of my characters. They're not even known, right? I don't have a PNG, so I can't make emotes of that. Uh, I guess I could make a PNG. That's not entirely out of the realm of possibility. I don't always have to. I don't have to be a strictly PNG user, but maybe I think it's easy for someone who watches you to come up with it because of the outside perspective. I agree. I super agree with that. These yourself, you have to guess what people would like. Versus yourself, these. Don't know why I read it that way. Versus yourself, you have to guess what people would like. Yes, yeah. Well, it depends, right? You know, I mean, if I was like a one game streamer, it'd be super easy, right? You could just make emotes of the game you play. Like if I played League, if I somehow played like went back to playing League and people actually watched me, then I could just make like what I would make like Prona. I'm sure someone's done it. Prona bonus, that would be a good one, right? But I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna stream League. I don't see myself streaming that game, much less playing it. Not that I have a problem with it. I think it's just run its course. You know, it was fun. It was fun when our group played it, but our group doesn't really play it, so thus it ain't gonna be fun unless everyone would come back, and then I would think about it then, and only then I would think, yeah, art makes it harder. I feel like it has to be based off of things you say a lot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If I were LOL, I would have White Zack, Buttery Knife, Big Bubble, and Ash Arrow. Like Artarian goes a lot when he draws, so that's an emote. Yeah, I could make a like the only idea that I have right now is that I could make an emote of my follow animation, but the problem with that is everyone so far has followed me when I'm offline, except for the first three people on the three stream, or the three people in the first stream, and that day the follow alert didn't work because I didn't set it up correctly. So that would be like a what? What is that? Like no one would know what that is because they haven't seen the follow alert yet. But other than that, I have no idea. Like I have no idea what the emote would be of any of them. All right, I think we're going to move on to the other side of the finger, and we're just going to put the fatty areas of the finger in the creases. All right, let's do this. Right, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to kind of do it like that. Have a little like a little skin indentation around. I feel like that looks a little more realistic than just putting a straight line. Although sometimes it can just be a straight line. I see, like just using mine as an example, but I also see what I just did on the side. So like it varies from person to person. I know what emotes I like from other streams, but I like them because they are specific to them and I can't think of a version. Yeah, there are plenty of emotes that I enjoy. Um, you know what I don't know, man. It's a little strange because I like using remotes, obviously, right? That's normally what I post, but I don't know. Some people might take it the wrong way if you go into their channel and post someone else's remotes, and I've done that like a lot. I didn't mean it that way, so I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like in a weird spot now. So now I just if I don't use like the regular emojis that you would see on a phone, then I'll just do their emotes if they're available. It's etiquette is on this site is weird, man. You don't know what's right, you don't know what's wrong. It's it's kind of weird. I love other people's emotes. Yeah, I do too. But look, I don't know, man. There's a lot of things that I don't take the wrong way, but it's not the same for everyone. So it's hard, man. It's not hard, but it's like I don't feel like I'm navigating a minefield. Okay, that's not what I come to the site for. I enjoy it just like as much as the next person, but I don't know. And you know what? I think these lines are a little too close together. Yeah, some people have really cool emotes though. Okay, I'm gonna have to repurpose these or reposition these lines. I done goofed. This one too. I gotta get rid of that one. Did I make this finger too long? I don't think I did. I'm just gonna put that there for a placeholder. Yeah, it's just a this is a weird site, man. You know, it can't. It's not just about Twitch's guidelines anymore. Now it's like everyone's it's just guidelines, just guidelines upon guidelines upon guidelines. Not even guidelines, just unspoken rules that you're just supposed to know. I guess I don't know, man. At least that's what it seems like. Every channel has its own rules. Yeah, I mean, I know that. I understand that. You know, I can accept that. That's fine. Oh, come to think of it, I should probably drum up some rules too. You know, my rules are simple. My rules are very simple though. You know, well at least they're going to be. I don't really have any rules yet, but um, I feel like this finger is too long. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it is. Okay. See, when you start adding the details, that's when you start that it really helps with proportion. I copied someone else's rules and was like, "Oh, good enough." Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a group of people out there who are against that. I haven't seen it though. I think people are like generally do the same thing. You know, when it comes to that, when it comes to rules, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll just follow this rule. Okay, yeah, that's a good rule. I'll take it. And that's kind of like the etiquette. You know, it kind of falls into that. All right, so then I feel like the line is not at the knuckle. Let's just use my knuckle. Get this one. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna shorten this finger a little bit because I feel like this ain't right. So I guess maybe I had the length right the first time, and then I just changed it because I felt like it was too short. But you have to take into account the size of the other fingers. Once your eye starts to recognize, oh, this is a hand, then it becomes right. You know, right now we're just looking at an incomplete hand, and it looks weird just based off of that. You have to try to imagine where the other fingers will be. I know that this finger might seem short, but not compared to the middle finger. Once that's there, then it'll look a little better. And the ring finger is about the same size, right? And then you got the pinky. So what I'm gonna do is, now that I have this line here, I can see how long it should be, and I'm just adjusting it based off of that. So I'm going to do that. Well, I am doing it. I'm going to adjust it, continue adjusting it until I feel like, okay, now it's starting to look a little, a little stuffy. That's because I don't have the other knuckle there. What if I just pull it all the way up? See, now that distance between this line and where it meets the palm looks good. So let me put the other knuckle in and see what we're working with here. Not so much the other knuckle, but where it bends. We're going to get it. We're going to get it right. Okay, we're going to get it right. See, that's what they want to just put a line there. Even though that's what it is 9 times out of 10, gotta make it all artsy. And that's about right, I would say. When I put the rig on, I can adjust the rig to the hand and vice versa, and the hand to the rig, so it's not a really big deal. I swear now it looks stubby, but I don't know. Yeah, the line on the other side lines up perfectly with the knuckle. So I was thinking maybe is the line slightly below the knuckle and I'm just having a problem there? It looks a little bit stubby. Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought. Now it looks stubby. All right, I'm just gonna pull it out, right? I'm gonna pull out the finger. I'm gonna pull the finger back out again. I need a bigger brush for this. Okay. Somehow it looks way better. And it didn't look like it stretched just at all. Okay. Let me get the other line in and see how it looks. Oh, you know what I don't like is changing the radius and then switching to the brush I'm going to use and then having to change the radius again because that was the wrong brush. That's what I don't like doing. I keep doing it. All right, so let me get this line here. I say about 3 more sculpts, I'll have it down. That's what I think. 3 more sculpts, I should be able to just do this, no problem. No more problems left. We just do it. Maybe it'll be some minor mistakes here and there, but I feel like I'll have it. I'll have it. If I don't have it already, I feel like I'll have it in that amount of time. Usually, it just takes a bit to get acclimated with the program here. I don't know where these lines came from. I did not do that, and I'm not sure how that happened. Well, we can smooth that out, and the problem is solved. The lines on that side should go this way. It probably happened. I must have accidentally hit it with the clay strip. That's good. Yeah, yeah. I feel like it looks better now. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna add these little wrinkles here on the side. It's kind of similar to the foot where you have those wrinkles on the around your heel. Somewhat. They don't have to be super pronounced, so you can just do it and smooth it out, just so that information is there. Also, this is very pronounced, so I'm just gonna smooth that out too. I said we just want the information. Then with that visual information there that'll help us visualize how the hand should look. I see everything it looked fine until I put the line there, and then I was like, oh, that doesn't look right now. That one line changed the entire perspective. But that's what we want. Things like that will help. So, all right, so we're going to make the fatty pads here a little more pronounced on the other side of the finger. Okay. Copy paste will go a long way. Yeah. This I only have to do it for this finger. Once I All I have to do now is I'm gonna dupe this entire hand off to the side, mask everything but the finger, put it in the right position, adjust it so it's the same length as the middle finger. Or matter of fact, just adjust it and then copy it 2 more times, and then we'll adjust the size of each finger and then just merge it all together. You only have to do this for one finger. That's the beauty of it. Unless your character has something wrong with his other fingers, uh, his or her other fingers, then that'll be the way to go. And even if it isn't, even if there is something wrong with it, you can still do it and then just make the adjustments later. I'm looking at the fingernail now. It's not super rounded, but I want to make it rounded. I want to make it flat. Right? You have that rounded shape when you look at it, like a dome, like the window around the front of a jet or something. It's got that shape. It's got that dome shape. So we're going to try to emulate that with the fingernail. So let me just decrease the radius here so we can make that a little more rounded. And yeah, looks much better. I don't know how long I'm gonna make his fingernails. That's a little too rounded from that perspective, but it looks good that perspective. So I'm just gonna scrape it down a little bit. You know, when I start doing like more like non-human things, because I want to do that. I want to kind of sculpt this like whatever I feel like I need to sculpt. Like if I do like Dread in a sculpt, man, that's gonna be crazy because he's got all the detail and he's like, oh, it's like a creature. He's basically a creature, right? That's gonna be quite the experience because I ain't gonna be able to follow just like basic human and but maybe like the very basic of anatomy. He's gonna be a month plus, yes. And then the coat and then the sword and all the oh man that like I know how much of a hassle it's gonna be, but I am looking forward to it. Just to learn, just the prospect of learning it is exciting, but that's gonna be crazy, man. I really hope I got it all down when I try to attempt that. All right, so right now I'm seeing that the top of the hand is a little plain, so we're gonna work on that. Use a clay strip brush for the detail. Just anything of the like any of the macabre stuff that I have from the second story is gonna be crazy. But I am looking forward to it. I'm gonna decrease that radius. We want to get the tendons and the knuckles, and then environments. That's another aspect that I want to try to take a look at. I might learn that. I might like just take some practice things, like try to learn that a little bit off stream, and then bring what I have learned on stream and see how, and then just go from there. As far as learning, I think that would be a way to do it. Doing it because I have to read. I have to sit down and read, and I can't do any of that stuff on stream. Just try to figure out. I know lighting. I guess it would be. I guess it's nothing more than like you make the plane, right? You make the horizon, and then once you have like walls or windows or trees, whatever's around the character or the subject, whatever it is, and you just light it. That should be fine, right? But I don't know. Maybe there's more to it. You probably have to simulate like how the ozone affects the colors and light and shadow. All the colors, mainly color, right? The color of the environment, how light bounces off of the ground and lights the character, and that's something that I only know in a 2D standpoint. I can simulate that in a drawing, but in a 3D, I got to see how that works. Now, Unreal 5 does all that for you. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that because I got some stuff from Humble Bundle. I know I've mentioned that before, but I'm gonna start studying that when I get when I have the time to do it. I'm gonna start studying that a little bit more. I should say I want to fit that into my free time in some way, shape, or form. And okay, see how the thumb looks? That looks weird. That looks super weird. That is a weird looking thumb. So we're gonna bring that in line. Little Thief, hey, welcome, Little Thief. Hope you're having a great morning. Hello, Hoax is stingy with emeralds after showing him where my cleric was that has ender pearls. That is all. Yeah, it's one of those times I wish I was close to you because I have a chest full of ender pearls and spawn eggs to boot to make additional spawns for farms. I have so many resources. I got to get my portal set up. Hang on, Little Thief. Let me give you a shout out. Oh my gosh. So let me get where's the window? Here's the window. Boom. Little Thief plays Minecraft and Souls-like games, so if you haven't already, give Little Thief a follow. Entertaining games. I've got to get back into Souls games. I haven't played any in a while. I saw you play Lies of P. That looks very interesting. I still got to play Elden Ring though. I got it on my wish list. I'm gonna get to it. I might do that on stream when I start, integrating gameplay into the stream. Right now, I'm just trying to stabilize my workflow and art, and once I feel comfortable, I'll probably play some games. Just I don't know when. I don't know if I want to do a second stream. Probably not. Maybe like a stream on a Saturday or something for a couple hours. Just stream whatever I'm playing at the time because that's normally when I play games. Is like on the weekend. Some in the end and in the evening, but I don't know if I want to do a second stream for the evening. So, hey Charlie, how you doing? You have a great day, Charlie. Yes, Souls are fun. I like Lies of P a lot. Very good Souls game. Yeah, it looks fun. I don't know if we're ever gonna get Bloodborne or PC. I mean, I do have a PS4, but it's in my living room, and I don't really play it. But I hope they bring that to PC. Hope your day is going good too. Yes, yeah, we're doing fine. We're doing just fine. Everything's all right. We're just doing some sculpting here, some sculpting practice, and I'm just trying to get better at it, trying to hone my skills here, add it to my repertoire. I guess it's already in my repertoire, but I'm just trying to sharpen what I know. I hear you on that one. But I definitely want to play Elden Ring. I still got to beat Dark Souls 2. That's the only one of the Dark Souls I haven't beaten. For some reason, something else pulls me away from it. Um, but I do like it though. I was trying to do a hex build. Basically, it was just like playing as like a Dark Knight. You have a great sword, and you have the dark magic. I went down and fought the I forget what it's called. I went down. It's like this big mound of flesh that's somewhere in like a cave, and he dropped something that I needed. I think it was the sword, and I fought him on New Game Plus. I was able to beat him. It was I think I have a rapier. I think was it a rapier plus 10 or a scimitar or something like that. I don't have to check. And on top of that, it was on my old computer, so I may have to just start over and just try to figure out what I was doing. But I managed to get to some place. I don't know. I just like doing that. I like I think I told you this before in person. This I think that was you. Um, that I've managed to do everything possible before gargoyles in Dark Souls 1. I was inspired to do it by an old YouTuber who had made some videos on it, and that's how I learned how to play Dark Souls. Like I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." And what you would do is you would just basically as soon as you start the game, you would just beeline down to the dang, what was it called? Was it the catacombs? Not the catacombs, but the one where the three puppets, and he has he makes the copies of himself, and he has the mask. He drops one of three masks. One's for stamina, one's for health, and one's for I forget what the other one's for. The wheel guy, yeah. You beeline the pinwheel. That's what it. Yeah, that's what it is. You beeline straight to him at the start of the game, and then you get the Grave Lord sword because you can get that at the beginning, and then from there you come back up the other way through the area with the electric dragons, and you go in and you fight the first. You go into where the castle stuff is, and you fight, or not the castle stuff, the cliffs where the Hydra is. You go there. You go straight there next, and you fight the first Black Knight, and you get, and if he drops the halberd, then you spec for that for the rest of the game. If not, you keep the Gravelord sword, and then you switch to Uji Katana, a Chaos Uji Katana. And the way it's done is it's done so that um at any stage of the game, if you get invaded, you will destroy whoever invades you. Oh, no matter what. Yeah. I had the Uji Katana in Anne Orlando, and somebody came in my game, and I was like, oh man. And then he tried to hit me, and the way the move is, it's like it's kind of tricky to dodge. He missed his first attack, and I was like, ah, boom, and I hit him, and he got hit, and then he tried to attack me again, and he got hit with the chaos damage, and I had him after that because he was wide open. I was like, gotcha, boom, killed him. See ya. Get back in your game and get out of my game, please. That was the first time though. The first time, the very first, I only got invaded twice in Dark Souls 1. The first time I got invaded was in the same area where the undead dragon is. Someone invaded my game, and I had the Black Knight halberd in my hand, right? Full, as decked out as it could go at that point in the game. He invades me, and I hide behind a pillar because I didn't know what to do. Like, it was the first time I ever got invaded. I was like, oh man, somebody's in the game. They're trying to kill me. And I guess he was working his way through the sewer to get to me, and he got to me. He ran by, and I snuck him. I hit him with the halberd, and he was so hurt. He dove down the steps and ran. It was like a staircase in that area. And he dove down the steps and ran around the corner and drank the thing. I was like, I got you already. You screwed up the moment you went down the steps. I have a halberd. I have the high ground. You're on the bottom of the steps. There's no way you're gonna win this. So I just stood at the top of the steps, and then eventually he came up and I killed him. Yes, it has the range. I had the position. I had the range. Done. It was very exciting. Um, I'm sorry. I got rated. I got invaded 3 times total. Um, I don't remember if it was Dark Souls 1 or Dark Souls 2. Might have been 2. There's a game. There's a area that has docks. I don't remember. And there's a ship. You go on a ship. Whichever game that was, I was invaded there. I got backstabbed though. I lost that one. I didn't know what was going on. I had, I was on the docks, and water to the either side of me. I had no choice. I tried to turn to run, get a better position. He backstabbed me. That was the character. You reminded me of who it was that I was going to tell you yesterday. Oh, I don't know. Some people don't like that setting. It's like the whole. It's like a gothic setting, like a gothic fiction setting where things are crumbling, supernatural things. A lot of callbacks to the past or whatever past events happen. I think that's very interesting. And I like macabre stuff, so it's right in my wheelhouse. I enjoy those types of games for that reason. But I know some people don't like that drab, weary, run down, eroded, destroyed areas. I think it's pretty cool though. I think there's a way to do it and give it a fresh coat of paint. I might try to, in some way, shape, or form. Imagine if you're a super OP lackey minion who wears a super nice suit and glasses, and his name is the High Ground because anyone who hires him always wins. I think the mountain with sci-fi. Oh, what's funny? I think Game of Thrones has that guy. His name is Braun. Was basically that. I like that idea. Yeah, Braun is basically that. He was the sellsword, but he was really good. He was really good at what he did, and he saved Tyrion. That was my favorite character in that series in Game of Thrones was Braun. I was like, please, because I haven't read all of the books. I'm still going through that series. Yeah, Braun. Yeah, yeah, he's like he seems like a rundown thug, but he was like, nah, he knows what's up. He knows what's going on. He's like, nope, not fighting this guy I'm not gonna fight this guy freaking 1-on-1. He's got full armor and a shield. He's gonna use every trick in the book to win, and he did. That's basically how it was in the book. It plays out a slightly little different, but it's very believable. But yeah, I was like, please don't kill Brian. He's too smart to go out like the way these other characters are going out. The high ground works for the mob. Yeah, I do like that idea. It's like this guy, it's just a this is the guy. He takes the job and he wins. That was basically Dread for a while. I don't know. I don't know. That part might have to change. You don't want to. I don't know. Some people enjoy it, but you want to make a story. Have stakes, right? You want to make it so that you'll always win. But with Braun, you never really knew. You don't know what could happen. He could trip and die. He could get hit with a random arrow. It was a weird series. It was but it was yeah, it was like one of my favorite characters. I didn't know anything about the story beforehand. I saw the series and I got into the books through the series. I'm on a Dance of Dragons now. That is the fifth book, I believe. I would look. I don't have them out right now. They're kind of yeah, Dance of Dragons. I can see it from here. Yeah, it's a Dance of Dragons. It's a white cover with the high ground. He just wins for other people, but they can fail. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's like a Turk, but he's not. He doesn't fail. A Turk from Final Fantasy VII. All right, I'm gonna do the little fatty areas here. I still need to read them. Yeah, they're a good read. George, oh well, I mean, I don't know. It depends. Yeah, I think they're a good read. Yeah, there's a lot of focus on food and sex, but it's not like the HBO show. It's not like there's something of that nature going on all the time. But it's definitely a lot of like into this like very detailed descriptions of food. Definitely, they really go in on the food. A copy of Seven Rebirth is still in this plastic, Ace. Man, I don't blame you. All this stuff would have been very exciting when I was about 14 years ago, but I don't have the same fervor I have with. I guess that's the right word, right? That I have for Final Fantasy VII than I now than I did then. I might show out for 11 every now and then. I mean, if I got to take my breaks, I'm currently on one now. Like I like 11, like I like 11 a lot. That's one of my favorite games ever. But even that has its limits. I gotta might have to take a step back here and there. But with seven, I think it's a little late. I'll say that. I'll play them eventually. I still have some interest, but I don't feel the same about it then or now that I do that I did than I did then. Seven Rebirth. What is it? Seven Rebirth. Seven Rebirth Integrate. What's the next one coming out? What's the next one again? No, Rebirth is the next one, right? So it's it's remake, integrate, and then rebirth, right? That's how it goes. I think that's how it goes, right? I haven't been following it. I don't know what's going on. All I know is that uh I see Max playing it sometimes, and I don't click on his channel because I'm like, no, because if I watch it, I'm definitely not gonna play it. I'm trying to avoid seeing it and consuming it in any way until I'm ready to play it. That way, at least I'll still get the enjoyment out of it that I might have gotten if I was still hyped for it, right? That's the order. New FF16 DLC, and I didn't even know. Now, this isn't the one with the Leviathan that you were saying, right? Or is this the one that uh had a story plot that they tied up that they should have done in the vanilla game? Is that what you mean? Are these the same things? The Leviathan and the story tie up DLC? Is this one and the same? I'm not sure. That's another game that I'm like, I'll wait until I'm ready to play it. I'm not really don't really worry about it now. Maybe one day I'll do a playthrough of seven, regardless of how long, or not seven, but the entire franchise, regardless of how long it might be, or how much interest is it in seeing me play that. But I will play through them all eventually, and because right now I played 7, 8, 9, and 10. I've only beaten 7 and 10 though. Oh, and I've beaten I'm sorry, I played 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Didn't play 15 or 16 yet, but I've only beaten 7 and 10. The rest of them I just tried because either I didn't own them or um I in the case of 12 I did own 12, but I had to I had to travel to another country or countries, and I didn't get to play it, and I gave it to my brother, and I just never went back to it. But I was getting into it, so 12 is kind of a special case, and 13 I had gotten from someone else, but I didn't get it. I just didn't get into it. I want to give that another try, especially 13. It's the latest one that ruined everything at the end. The one that they copied 11. I remember you saying that. Okay, with the time stuff, right? Yeah, I forget the details of it because I, but because I was like, I didn't like. I remember that you said it was something to do with time, and I was like, okay, and I kind of dumped the information after that day, probably for the best, just in case I decide to play it. But I remember having that conversation with you, yeah, or that exchange. This nail is a little too thin. Oh man, it's noon already. Man, the time really flew. Holy crap. Okay, we may have to continue this at a later date. What date will that be? Um, yeah, but I guess I guess come back tomorrow and do the fingers. I had there's not much left as far as the entire body. So yeah, it's from here. It's just decreasing the mesh to real world size, and then uh, doing the topology again in a lower polygon count. That is what that's what's up next, really, and that's all that stuff is for now in this character's case, since he's a male with the, well, actually, you know what? I think if I just don't sculpt the nipples, I don't think there's nothing I'm missing there. I can always add them after I make the lower mesh off stream, right, when it's done. So I guess I could um redo the topology in the lower polygon count, the head and the torso. That way I only have to do the booty off stream, whatever, no matter if it's male or female, because I can't show the cheeks, and I need to see the entire body in order to retopology it or retopologize the thing. So yeah, we're still working out how I'm gonna what I'm gonna show and what I'm not gonna show. So just don't mind me. I'm just thinking all out here. All right, well it's coming along. We're gonna. I see there's still it's a little too rectangular there, but we'll fix it. Matter of fact, I probably something like this right now. Just do a little bit of that right now with the mouse in my hand. Yeah. Okay, so I guess we had a pretty good connection today. What I did was I booty. Yeah, yeah. You'll see it. You'll see. Well, it'll be clothed, because I can't show it. I think back in December when they changed it, I was happy to be able to stream when I was planning all this stuff out. Happy to be able to stream everything without having to take anything off stream, but that only lasted like a day because people took it too far. So, but that's all right. We were already planning beforehand to do it this way. So it's not a great loss. It's not a loss at all, really. But it would have been nice, to just to stream the whole thing. It's okay though, not a big deal. You'll see the finished product. Um, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. I want to do the fingers on stream. It'll be a short stream, I think. I'll probably just finish all the fingers. I mean, it's just actually, you know what? It really is just copy pasting this finger in every position. But if I do that off stream, then I'm gonna have to take additional time to set up the next steps. And if I do that, I probably won't be back until like Monday. So I don't know. I might take Thursday off anyway. Oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah. We're still trying to get it to where we can, basically just learning how to do this better. But yep, this is all that's left of the entire body, really, other than just putting the whole mesh together. All right. Oops, wrong thing. There. All right. Thank you all for for coming by. I appreciate you all dropping in and watching me do this, watching the stream. I very much appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow. I think it'll be a probably much shorter stream tomorrow. I'll probably just do the fingers and be done with it. And then I will come back on I think I'll take Thursday off again if I can get the fingers done. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is what took so long. What was this one right here? Cause here, I'm gonna show you this. This one right here, I did that by hand, all these frames. This one was the worst because I did all of these people separate. You get bonus points if you can guess who they are. But yeah, all of these were they took a very long time. And then I had to deal with thank you. Yeah, I have some other animation ideas, but that's more for like when I'm thank you so much, studio. Um I'm glad that they turned out the way they did. Um, I have some other things I want to do. I think, but I have to like kind of like fit them in my schedule, and they're more for like gaming. They're like little, just little reactions. Like when I play a game, I can hit a button and then a reaction would happen. But it wouldn't make any sense for me to use. I have one right now. I'm gonna save it for when I'm playing a game though. But I have like two or three others planned. Studio tweaking raccoon. Well, it's animated, right? It might be a shorter animation, but this one right here is actually just 60 frames. It's just looped. This is a 60 frame animation here, and it's kind of like tweaking in the second one. Oh, okay, like a twerking. Okay. 60, yeah, it's just 60 frames. I try to keep it to 60. This one here is actually that's 370 something frames. Just the middle one. I based the other two frames of the okay. Yeah, I based the other two frames off the center frame. The center frame is like 371 frames. So I made the other ones loop to fit that. It looks like it would be on TV in the 2000s. Yeah, I got that vibe off of it too when I did it. Thank you so much. Thank you. But yeah, I will be back tomorrow, same time. I'm gonna try to keep it to 9 today. Like I said, I was a little held up. I saw some news on social media about a indie comic creator he took his own life, and I was catching it because apparently some wild stuff happened this past week, and he couldn't take it anymore. He was accused of some things that he may have been guilty of, and he decided he didn't want to deal with it anymore. And he has a YouTube channel on well, it's on YouTube, obviously. He had a YouTube channel that follow where he would like cover comics and art and everything that happened in the past with the industry, the comic industry and whatnot. And yeah, it's a sad situation for everyone involved. I was catching it with that, otherwise I would have been on sooner. But yeah, thank you for coming here.